What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here. It's Thursday. That means time to talk about the new movies opening this week. Alright, now, pretty much the big one coming out this week is the very controversial film Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, this is probably one of the most controversial movies there has been. I mean, I'm not even joking. Literally, most of the deers are like a stack with security and stuff like that. I mean, yes. But that aside, I still think the Joker looks really great. Joaquin Phoenix looks great as a role. Definitely cannot wait to see the Joker. I mean, it's Todd Phillips who gave us The Hangover and stuff, so hopefully I'll enjoy the Joker. Alright, also out this week, there's the new film Lucy in the Sky, which stars Natalie Portman as really the Tyrone named Lucy Cola, who's like this strong woman who's like determination and driven as a astronaut, takes her to space. And when she gets back home, she finds out that her husband is also seeing another astronaut played by Zazie Beetz, and the husband is of course played by John Hamm. You also got Dan Stevens is in this, Ellen Burstyn. Now I gotta say the trailer looked pretty good, although the reviews has not been kindly to this movie. Like as we speak, it literally is about I believe it's at 24% or something. Yeah, it's not really looking that great for this movie, and it is like the second space-based movie of the year, next to Ad Astra, which was terrible. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll be as good, as better as Ad Astra or worse as Ad Astra, but we'll see. All right, there's also a film out this week called Pain and Glory, which stars Antonio Banderas as pretty much a film director named as this as filmmaker named Salvador Malo, and this is directed by Pedro Almodovar. I always can never really pronounce this director's name, but he's worked with Antonio Banderas loads of times, and you also got Penelope Cruz. This film actually might get Antonio Banderas an Oscar nomination, and maybe I don't know, maybe a win. I think Banderas' Oscar is very long overdue. And, I mean, Penelope Cruz, I believe she won an Oscar for Vicky Cristina Barcelona, so there's that. But I think Pain and Glory, I've seen the trails for it. I think this looks really interesting, and I'm kind of interested in it. I mean, it's Antonio Banderas, so I'll definitely be watching because Banderas is in it, so... Alright. Also, out this week, there's a film called Pretenders, which it stars and is directed by James Franco, and stars the likes of Jane Levy, Juno Tempa, Brian Cox, Jack Kilmer, Shamik Moore, and Dennis Quaid. And here's what it's about. Pretenders' lives imitate a deadly arts as a French New Wave obsession film student named Terry finds his muse in mysterious and beguiling actress Catherine. Both Terry and his best friend Phil fall under the spell of this beautiful woman, but they soon realize that the more time they spend with her is the more enigmatic she becomes and all. So I mean, yeah, this is pretty much like a love triangle based movie, and you got James Franco in this, and come on, Franco's the man, and he's a pretty cool filmmaker. Some of his directing films could be hit and misses. Of course, his best directing film is The Disaster Artist. And The Pretenders has been this was a movie that was shot in 2017, and now it's finally getting released 2 years later. I'll probably see it. I'm still gonna see it anyway because it's Franco, and I like Jane Levy. I like Juno Temple, so I'll still probably give this one a shot. Gotta be careful because it's raining out here, and I don't want my computer to get wet. So anyway, not to mention it's The Pretenders is also written by Josh Boone, who also directed. He of course directed The Fault in Our Stars. He also has New Mutants coming out, which God knows if that's ever still going to come out, but whatever. Anyway, also out this week, there's a film called The Parts You Lose, which is about this young deaf boy who's bullied, bullied at his school and his home life. Sanctuary consists of a loving mother and younger sister. And so when his father, who's a rough, unhappy man, returns home, Wesley withdraws into a shy and uneasy silence, but like on one but on one day on this co-walk from home, Wesley ends up finding a strange man, helpless and bleeding next on the road, and so he ends up bringing the man to an abandoned farm, not so like far from his home, and it's got pretty good cast. You got Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad fame. I mean, this is a cool month for Aaron Paul, by the way. He's in Parts You Lose, and he's also in that Breaking Bad movie coming to Netflix. So if you're a fan of Aaron Paul, this is a month for you guys. And also, you got Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which, by the way, yesterday I did my 10 favorite Winstead movies, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead is just a doll. So if she's in it, I'll definitely watch it because she's in it. You got Scoop McNairy, really underrated actor. I think this looks really cool. It looks intense, and I'm kind of interested. I mean, last time Winston and Paul worked together was of course in the movie Smash, and that movie was awesome. So yeah, hopefully the same will be said about Ponzi Lutz because this looks really interesting. All right, there's also some film out this week called Gregory's Girl, which I don't know much about, so I can't really comment on that. There's a film, Memory: The Origins of Alien, which is pretty much like a documentary about the making of the classic 1970s film Alien, which I do love me a good documentary that's about making about movies and all. Whether you could talk about the film about making Psycho or a film about making the making of Mary Poppins or something. Although this is a documentary, not a biopic, but still. All right. There's also a anime film that's getting some Oscar buzz called Dilly in Paris. I don't know much about that. There's a film called Wallflower. Not to be confused with Perks of Being a Wallflower. Love that movie. Anyway, here's what Wallflower is about. On the night, a disturbed man from a small town plans to commit a massacre at a Seattle rave. He is befriended by an interesting group of ravers who invite him into their home. As the night unfolds, he finds himself conflict about his intentions as the lines blur between their liberated world and his repressed desires. I mean, it's not really the best time to release this, especially before the mass shootings go on today. But I saw the trailer. It looks very interesting. It looks very disturbed. I mean, shows what the mind of a guy who is responsible for a mass killer goes through before he carries out his plan and stuff. I mean, I don't know if I'm really all that interested in this, but hey, it might be interesting. Also, out this week, there's an A24 film called Low Tide, which takes place. Here's what it's about. In the long days of summer, in a beach town on the New Jersey shore, high schooler Ellen, played by well, I should say Alan, played by Keanu Johnson from Alita fame, and his friends, Red, played by Alex Neustetzer from AXA, and Smitty, played by this actor named Daniel Collery, ends up breaking into a vacation home to steal valuables, funding dates at the boardwalk and lunches at the burger stand. When Alan and his younger brother Pete, name appear, played by it actor Jaden Martell, finds a big bag of gold coins. They try to hide it from their from others, and so really long story short, the gang is pretty much trying to get the money and stuff like that. So I mean, this literally feels like maybe like a mix of the Goonies and stuff like that, or Stand by Me. I think this. I saw the trailer for this. This looks really interesting. I mean, it is A24, so anything A24 is attached with, I'll definitely be watching. So yeah, I'll probably give this one a shot sometime. There's also a film called The Climbers, which is pretty much based on true story from award-winning director Daniel Lee, who directed 14 Blades, and it pretty much stars China's biggest stars like including Wu Jing, Zhang Zi, who's Kamachi Nagata. And you also got Jackie Chan in this, and it pretty much tells like it's kind of like a Chinese version of that movie Everest that got released not so long ago, where they ended up climbing like a big mountain. So yeah, there's that. Now it's Jackie Chan's in this, so I watch anything with Jackie Chan involved. And yeah, hey, it's like some of my dudes are actually releasing this in IMAX, which this does look like an IMAX release. So, alright. Also, out this week, there's a film called Semper Fi, which stars Jai Courtney, who plays this police officer who is trying to get his best friend, his like half brother, played by Nat Wolff, acquitted from all charges after he's like falsely arrested and all. And this looks pretty interesting. Like you also got Lake Mesos in this, Finn Whitrock. This looks pretty cool, so I'll probably give this one shot. There's some film called The Battle of Jagsauri. I don't know much about that. There's some horror film called My Soldier Keep. A film called El Coyote. A documentary that actually looks creepy called Wrinkles the Clown, which is pretty much a documentary about like this clown that a parent that like terrorized a group of us like a small town and stuff. And this literally looks creepy. I mean, look out Pennywise. There's another like, of course we got a Joker, which features a creepy clown in it, and now we got Wrinkles the Clown, which is another clown-based movie. So, what's up with Hollywood's obsession with clowns? Anyway, there's also a film called Rogue Warfare with Stephen Lang. I love Stephen Lang, so there's a film called Game Day with Romeo Miller. That could be interesting. Some film called Cuck, which I have never even heard about that. So, there's some film called Nighthawks with Chase Crawford. There's that. Coming to theaters this week and coming to Netflix also in October is Dolomite is My Name with Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore. That looks really good. Cannot wait to see that. And last but not least, on Netflix, there's a film called In the Tall Grass, which is based on a book by Stephen King, and this looks really creepy. I mean, it is based on a Stephen King book. You got Patrick Wilson, who's pretty much big with the horror genre thanks to the Conjuring franchise and stuff. And yeah, I mean, the whole film takes place mainly like in a couple of grasses. So yeah, but there's a pretty interesting stuff to look forward to. Let me leave you guys. Which of these are you interested in watching? Like, are you interested in Joker, Lucy in the Sky, etc.? Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here's Team Movie signing off.